Folks, welcome back. I am using the Light Seers Tarot today, and I have laid out your cards in a Celtic cross. Your first card is the Queen of Pentacles, and that is in the center of your deck. That's the central theme. The Queen of Pentacles is in reverse because I suspect that you're not used to taking good care of yourself. You're accustomed to taking care of other people first before you, and now it might just be only you, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. But this is someone who's going to need to become comfortable again, enjoying the richer, finer things of life, whether that be food, beautiful surroundings, having a lot of finances, things that make us materially comfortable, that make our bodies feel at peace. And we talk about the connection between the mind and the body. It soothes the mind to have the body materially taken care of, or if we allow the connection between mind and body to be strong, then yes, our minds are more at peace when our bodies are taken care of. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have other problems with our minds. Our minds often get in the way of ourselves. We can be our own worst enemies. And let me talk about your crossing card for just a minute, okay? This is pointing towards your future, which talks to me about choosing to walk away permanently and getting into the process of permanently walking away from something that you've put a lot of emotional investment in. And let's talk about what you've put a lot of time and love and energy into in your past. You have the King of Cups. I suspect that this is someone's partner, boyfriend, husband. There is no gender in tarot, right? I could just as easily be speaking to a masculine figure with the Queen of Pentacles, and I could be speaking about a feminine figure here with the King of Cups, is what I should say. In any case, somebody here took on masculine type roles, may have had a more masculine type of energy about them, even a personality, but for some reason they could never completely control their emotions. Like, they might like to show off a strong exterior, but on the interior, they are butter. They are melted butter. They are incredibly soft people, and they may not always be able to hold their emotions in check very easily. This is water first and fire second, and this talks to me about those two opposing forces being out of control. Like, for instance, there might not be enough water to put out a fire if the fire is raging out of control. And also, fire can burn water. Ask me, I've burned up to water in a pot once, and it was, I had to throw out the pot. But if those two elements are out of balance, like water can extinguish a fire, for instance, and like sometimes fire can't be affected by, I'm thinking of a raging forest fire, cannot be affected by even a few buckets of water. It needs a lot more of the elements to put it out. What I'm saying is that this person in your life who is sort of in your past, but also kind of not in your past with this Eight of Cups. It's not in your past yet completely. I feel like you're having a lot of the same, you're still using a lot of the same habits, and that includes thought patterns that you got from this particular person who was out of balance. May have been someone who got angry really, really easily. I'm thinking like boiling water. If we're going back to the fire and water element, that's like boiling water. We don't want to touch that, and yet you might have been, I'm getting with this, earth energy, scorched earth. I might be speaking to a Capricorn, to a Taurus, or to a Virgo, or to someone who has that energy in their birth chart. And this particular character may be a Cancer, may be a Scorpio, or may be a Pisces. Take that as it resonates. They may have that energy somewhere in their birth chart. But in normal circumstances, these two cards should get along just fine with each other. Think about how well earth and water go along with each other. They're perfectly made for each other. You provide the structure, and they provided the love, the creativity, the compassion, the emotions when those were needed. Those, in an ideal situation, you folks would have complemented each other, but in this case, that isn't what happened. This is possibly someone who gets not just angry, emotional, and like works up like an emotional tornado, if you will, but this is also someone who I feel has sabotaged you in the past. This is the Seven of Pentacles and it's in reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles in this case is in your conscious area. So what that means is, I wonder if you aren't consciously picking up the pieces from something that was stolen from you by this particular King of Cups in the past, and that you're in the recovery process. This might have been money, or because this is about sword energy, this might you be reacquiring your stolen voice that you willingly tamped down, you hid, so that you could make this King of Cups more comfortable. At home, in the public sphere, it doesn't matter. You shut up. You were forced to. You gave your voice away to someone who did not deserve it, who was trying to shut you up. And I feel like with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, that you need to find your voice. You need to find your balance once again in someone who doesn't just take care of themselves materially, but also thinks for themselves. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. I gave you a little bit of a spoiler right there. But you are definitely going to need to take back your voice, which for the longest time hasn't been yours. You need to take it back. And you need to say exactly, plugging in my computer. Sorry. You need to say exactly what it is you need to say. You need to speak your truth. You need to speak truth to power, whatever that may be. In your subconscious position, you have the Page of Cups. This is you eventually starting something new, whether that's a relationship or maybe that's a hobby, something that you like to do with your time. That I'm not saying it's necessarily a hobby. It can be your job that you love to do with your time. Maybe you had a job in the past that you absolutely loved, but you left for this King of Cups. Maybe you stopped a hobby to take care of this King of Cups character. Maybe you've left something behind that you had a lot of emotional attachment to, and I wonder if you aren't able to come back to that particular project even. This could be you doing arts and crafts. It could be anything that makes your heart genuinely happy. It could be video gaming or programming. This could be literally anything, or it could be a new romantic relationship. You need to do what resonates, and you need to take what resonates for you. But this is the new emotional start to something that quite possibly you've had to let go of in the past. Maybe this is something that you can use to help you tell your story. You had to let go of something in the past. Your voice was stolen, but it won't be anymore if you come into your energy as the Queen of Pentacles and start taking care of the things that make you materially comfortable. Maybe there's something about that material comfort that can be assisted with starting this new project, starting this new relationship. Maybe this is a new friendship. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be platonic too. In your future position, you have the Page of Pentacles. This is starting out something new, and I wonder if it isn't in accordance with this new emotional beginning. So starting something new that will make you materially comfortable and is an emotional, hey, maybe you want to start a new business, for instance. That is, maybe you want to make soap. I'm giving you all kinds of free ideas. Feel free to ignore all of them. But if you can turn your Queen of Pentacles into the upright energy, you can really welcome this in with the strength that I know that you have. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I'm afraid that there's the risk that you could completely miss out on this new opportunity. There's something about this thinking for yourself, coming back into your voice and speaking your truth that is so important to you, genuinely welcoming in this opportunity with open arms, with strength that you deserve to show the world when it comes to starting these kinds of new projects. You are worth it. You do have something amazing to offer yourself and offer other people. And I hope you ignore the voices that tell you that you aren't anything besides that. besides a wonderful creation, besides a masterpiece. With the advice card, you're being asked to come into balance with yourself. This is temperance. This is divine balance. The universe is offering you a new opportunity to come into balance with yourself specifically, and here's your outcome, specifically where it meets the point that you learn to think for yourself. Think in such a way that society's recommendations for how we think about life milestones, achievements, breakups, divorces, losing a job, losing a home, losing a house, property, it doesn't matter. Whatever you've lost in the past can be turned into power later on down the road, but absolutely you need to become someone who masters the way that you speak about yourself, the way that you speak to others, and also you need to master the way that you think. Your mind needs mastering here. Meditation can do a lot, but ultimately it's about making sure that your mind is not in control of you. And that's kind of difficult, and I'll be the first to testify that being a Gemini, it can be really difficult to keep minds under control. It's so much easier to let my mind zip around from place to place than it is to keep it under control. This is air and fire energy. This is someone who knows when to sit back and not take action just yet, but also knows when to take action when it's time. And that's a lifelong practice. There will always be a better way that we can hold on to control of our minds as opposed to being slaves to our minds. But that's what you're being asked to do. What can you bring into balance? It is how you think about yourself. It is how you allow your mind to control you. Your thoughts do control you, I wonder, at this point. And I wonder if you can't come back into control of your thoughts. With the Five of Wands in reverse, this is in your environment position. I feel like somehow you haven't completely left this King of Cups back here. And I wonder if this isn't you in the process of walking away gradually. I don't know that the people or the person that I'm speaking to is to that point just yet, but I feel like right here this is kind of an eggshells kind of environment. Walking on eggshells, passive aggressiveness. No one's like openly hitting each other, and I don't mean like actually physical. Nobody's like saying anything like passive aggressive silence, for instance. This could mean like people are on their separate ends of the house and there's like no interaction whatsoever. But be aware that Wands is still fire energy, and there's the risk that things could boil over at any point. Please don't allow it. Please leave for your own sake, for your own protection. Remember that you are the Queen of Pentacles and that you deserve to be treated as such. Finish walking away, my guides are saying, as soon as you possibly can. You deserve this new beginning. New beginning in Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and one more time in your hopes and your fears, you have the Ace of Cups, another new beginning, goes right alongside the Page of Cups. The page gives you a message from the universe. Are you ready to accept this new emotional opportunity? With the Ace of Cups, that's you actually taking action on it. Another opportunity being offered straight from the universe. But with it being in reverse, I wonder if you're not afraid of never finding love again. And this is where deep compassion for yourself and not listening to society's narratives about love or even self-love, you're going to need to find your own ways of loving yourself first before you give away that love and affection like you see with the Queen of Pentacles. That belongs to you first before it belongs to others. Even when you have children, you need to give love to yourself as well as to your children. You can't give from an empty cup. There might be some lies that you believe that society has told you that aren't true when it comes to you loving yourself. And this is going to take patience and being in kind of hermit mode in the sense that you're alone, that you're able to meditate. Once again, there's that word again. You need to meditate on what makes you, you, why you appreciate yourself, why you're grateful for yourself. And if you're not there to that point just yet, this is the time for you to sit in silence with the universe and allow the universe to tell you what it admires about you. Absolutely, you can do this. The meditation's going to be hard, but there's also quite a few videos on YouTube that are helpful, and they're free. Okay, I hope that you start this healing journey soon. I can see that it's been a long one and that it's been difficult, and that for some of you, you've not even started really walking away, or you haven't finished walking away from this situation just yet. But I do see that potentially you are in the process. For some of you, you might be stuck, that you haven't, because this is in crossing energy. Some of you are struggling to leave because it's all you've ever known. You're very comfortable with that earth energy. You might be someone like a Virgo, a Taurus, Capricorn, who really doesn't like to move that much. They like consistency, they like stability. And this particular situation is the wrong kind of stability. It's stagnancy at this point. This is a situation where you need to start leaving and admitting to yourself that this individual has been stealing your voice for a long time and that you don't deserve to be treated that way. Folks, that is all for this particular reading. I wish you a wonderful healing journey and a great rest of your day. Take care.